Hi everyone, my name is Belle, and I'm currently a doctoral researcher in learning, education, and technologies with experience in responsible AI ethics, data analytics, and data privacy. I'm excited to discuss about the challenge and opportunities of AI in today's digital world. Today, we'll be exploring Module 14, Data Privacy and AI Safety, part of our AI Ethics, Privacy, and Security series, as we navigate AI roles in data protections and ethical practice. Let's get started. In these modules on data privacy and AI safety, we are going to explore how AI systems handle personal data, the risks involved, and the safeguards we can put in place to protect our interests. As someone who worked very closely with digital technologies and have been for years, I've seen firsthand both the very transformative benefits as well as the potential pitfall of AI. And understanding this challenge isn't just an academic exercise, it's essential for our everyday well-being. So let's dive in. I want you to start by reflecting on your own habits. Think about all the personal information you share when you post on social medias, when you shop online, or even just when you use your smartphone. Every interaction generates data that AI use to understand your preference and behavior. As such, these sections will focus on understanding how AI collects this data, what practical steps you can use to protect your personal information, and the risk that is involved. Have you ever mentioned a product to a friend and then suddenly seen an advertisement for it online? It might feel like your device is eavesdropping on your conversations, but it's really the result of very sophisticated data collection analysis. AI analyzes your online behaviors, it tracks your search, clicks, and interactions to learn about your interests. So today, we'll unpack exactly how AI collects and uses this data. Let's start with the basic definition of AI data collections, also known as data harvesting, which refer to gathering information from different sources. This includes websites, online survey, social medias, and even smart devices. Companies use this information to train AI models to make recommendations and predict your behavior. But what kind of data are they collecting and how does that affect it? Here's the thing. Every click, like, comment, add to a digital profile that is more detailed than you ever expected. This data shape not only the ad you can see, but it can influence decisions like your job prospects or even your credit score. Think about it. If a company can predict your habits so precisely, it gives them immense power over what you expose to. Today, let's dissect the 5 types of data being collected, from smart devices that track your locations and routine to online interactions that define your interests. Let's break it down to 5 key areas. First, surveillance and smart devices. Consider your smart devices, your smartphone, smart TV, and even your home security camera. They are constantly collecting information about your whereabouts, your routines, and even conversation in some cases. I remember there was a time when I was talking with a colleague and in Zoom, and we were actually just mentioning about attending another college weddings. And what do I know? Next day, my Facebook app starting to running app on wedding dresses. And at that time, it was a wake-up call about the balance between convenience and privacy. These devices provide fantastic service, but they also raise questions about how much we're willing to share. However, these also link to the next one, social media and apps. Every interactions on platforms like Facebook or Instagram is monitored. Your like, you share, you comment, even the time you spend looking at a post. Because all of this contribute to a digital profile of what you are as a user. So likewise, in addition, every website you visit leaves a digital footprint through cookies and IP address. These data points help you an incredibly detailed profile of your interests. While it means that you get content tailored to you, it also means that your behavior is being continuously analyzed. You ever pay attention that constantly, whenever you visit a website page, they are asking you to allow cookies? This is it. But AI isn't limited to social medias or browsings. It's also making wave in field like healthcare, law enforcement. So in healthcare, for example, AI analyze medical records and data from your even like your wearable device to help diagnosis and disease early. And in law enforcement, predictive policing use historical data to anticipate where crime might occur, actually. So this application can save life, but of course, still, they also bring up ethical concerns around bias and privacies. And it's also a reminder that with great power come great responsibilities. Now, I'd like you to join me in a quick practical exercise. Please take a moment to open your phone, go to the settings and find the app permissions to review it. Look for any app that have access to your cameras, your microphone, or locations. And when you've seen that, ask yourself, do they really need that access? Well, this simple check is one of the easiest yet most effective way to take back some control over your privacies. It's a habit, at least, that I encourage everyone to develop. With so much data being collected, you might wonder, how do we protect our privacies? Well, the good news is there are some practical steps that we can all take. Well, up next, we're going to explore strategies to secure our personal information in this digital age. Now, really think in this sense. In the age of AI, privacy has become an increasingly complex issue. With a vast amount of data being collected and analyzed by companies and governments, individual private information is at greater risk than it's ever before. So privacy is not just about keeping secrets. It's the right to keep personal information confidential and free from unauthorized access. Well, what this means is about maintaining control over your personal information. So consider this data, how it can influence various aspects of our lives, from job application, credit score, to even the news that you're reading. As the saying goes, knowledge is power, and in the digital age, knowing how your data is used is very critical. Well, this is a huge issue, especially in the era of big data. So many countries have recognizing this need to protect it. For example, this has been dated back a long time ago, and this, of course, focus more on data in general. But the EU's General Data Protection Regulation (GDPR) is still very, very relevant in the case of applying for AI, especially how it can use and collect your data. There's also the California Consumer Privacy Act in California's CCPA. This is also guiding some step that toward giving individual more control over their data. And of course, one of the recently draft the AI ethic guidelines from a combination from like big organizations like the OECD's, the UNESCO's, IEEE's, into providing a framework of what is the best practice for this guideline. Actually, we did do a review of this one, and it actually appeared very, very recently. I think one of the first work on to review some document on like AI in general date back to 2022, 2023. But ever since 2022, generative AI has proposed like a massive leap onto all the change and regulations. So even the AI ethical guidelines trying to keep up with that. However, I have to say is why some of this regulation and policy, it provide good frameworks, it provides some safeguard. It's ultimately fall upon us to be proactive in protecting our data. So what are some practical steps that you can take? First, adjust your social media privacy setting to limit the amount of data you are sharing. This is not always the need to share everything publicly. Then you can also use some strong, unique password, enable two-phase authentication to secure your accounts. Believe me, this is sometimes not even enough, as I have exposed to kind of like password leak, and that was date back from the time when I still using the same passwords for many things. So avoid using that. Next one is also be aware of like how much AI is tracking and using your data, and with that, regularly reviews the app permissions. The app permissions will like allow this to collect the data, and also consider some privacy enhancing tools like VPNs or like some encrypt message services. Some are better than others. Although this action might seem small, but collectively they really can greatly reduce the risk. Well, AI is incredibly powerful, but it's not without risk. From data breaches to deepfakes, it can be misused in many ways that threaten our privacy and securities. So in the upcoming slide, we'll explore some of these critical risks and why it is important to address them. So let's reflect a bit on how much do you trust AI. Bear in mind this, like read some of these scenarios and think, your facial recognition data is stored every time you unlock your phone. And an AI system determines whether your loan application is approved or not. And AI filter news content for you, so you are getting only a selective view of it, maybe not full pictures. So take a few minutes to think about these scenarios before we're moving forward. Think about whether we're giving way too much controls, and we trust all of this. Now, despite the benefit of AI, so we can see the very significant risk involved. First one, data breaches where sensitive information could be exposed to hackers. Or think about AI-driven surveillance. Every time you unlock your phone, your facial recognition data will be stored. If you walk on the street, there will be security camera that captures your every move, as well as deepfakes and misinformation. Especially now with generative AI, it can generate like not just a hallucination like written content, but also images, pictures, and videos that can really deceive the public. But much like any technologies, AI isn't just used for good, it can also be weaponized. So consider the potentials of autonomous drones or AI-enhanced cyber attacks. So those are not just concepts for science fiction. This is actually happening now. Also take a look at this case study from 2023. The scam used AI-generated voices and visual to manipulate the employees. So incidents like this highlight the real dangers posed by deepfakes and AI-generated content. And at this point, take a moment to reflect on these scenarios. How would you feel if your personal data or even your identity could be manipulated so easily? What additional safeguard do you think organizations could implement to detect and prevent such AI-driven fraud? I think this case study actually, another great example is, think if your parent receiving a video call from you or look like it was from you and asking and saying that you are in emergencies and you need money, emergent money transfers. Can you think of what would happen next? Educators also have an important role in shaping responsible AI use in school. While AI offers exciting opportunity for personalized learnings, it comes with risks that must be managed thoughtfully. Let's explore them. In these sessions, we will cover the risks associated with AI in school settings, reviewing a relevant case study, and discussing best practice for educators. Picture this. AI is monitoring your study or your work routines. It could learn about your study patterns, preference, and performance. Now, take a moment to reflect. How do you feel about AI having access to all this personal information? Does the promise of personalized feedback and tailored support sound appealing? Or do privacy concerns give you pause? Consider these questions and we delve into the impact of AI tracking in academic and professional settings. Of course, AI is making its way into classroom. With it comes challenge. For example, deepfakes and misinformations. AI, especially generative AI, is getting much better, but it can still hallucinate, which means it can generate knowledge, content that look very much like real information, but it's not. So if students don't have the ability to critically engage or reflect with them, they might believe that AI generate content without verifying it. AI assist cheatings. So some students, many would use they are using AI to help complete their assignment, but how they're using it, if they're using it without critically and solely rely on it, then they're using it dishonestly to cheat rather than to learn. Also, data misuse. Educational platform collect a vast amount of data. Privacy concerns. Also, what can school do to ensure AI privacies? AIs and also ensure that it is being used responsibly. Well, today, best practice focus on two key areas. First, combating AI-assisted cheatings. You can start by establishing clear policy that define when and how AI tool can be used ethically in the classroom. One options that one might consider as one of the first steps is to use detection software to identify AI-generated content and prevent plagiarism. Although I have to strongly emphasize that you must have very good cautions when you're using this, because actually most, especially very advanced model of AI now, they pass the test. And most of this model to detect the AI writings is not true. And it can generate most of the time false positive or false negative, which means that a content is written by human can be detected as written by AI, and the content written by AI can actually be identified as written by human. So this is one of the options, but it should not be your sole source of credible to make a decision on. More importantly, I think we should increase assessment that require problem-solving skills and personal response rather than generic AI-produced answers. So this call for a huge reform in terms of education's redesign. And lastly, emphasize the importance of using AI responsibly as learning it, not a shortcut. Second, focus on preventing data misuse in schools. We can enforce strong data protection policy to ensure all AI tools comply with local privacy law. These mean also limited data collection to only what is necessary for educational purpose or research. Last one, you can also strengthen cybersecurity measures with encryptions, multi-factor authentications, and secure servers to protect student information. The last one is to promote digital awareness by training educators, students, and parents about the importance of data privacy and securities. For this practice, when you work together, it can help to create a safer and more ethical learning environment. Well, AI is revolutionized education by making learning more personalized. This is as an AI application education researchers, like I think I'm very much advocating and I understand what is needed to make education more accessible, more personalized, like finding out the moment that students are really struggles and offering the kind of support that tailored to them. However, along with this benefit also come the challenge such as privacy risk and even issue like AI-assisted cheating. Let's take a closer look at these few examples. The news on revealing how many students are actually using AI to cheat, and teachers when checking the student work within the AI detecting system say that it's been written by the AI, but the student are saying they're innocent. And the question being raised, who should I believe? So imagine scenarios where students rely entirely on AI to complete their assignment. Why their grade might be so. The real question is, are they really learning? So this is the extreme case of using AI for cheating. But this does raise a very significant ethical dilemma. If AI did all the work, would that be fair? So therefore, academic integrity has become even more important than ever to teach your child. Integrity is about doing the right things even when no one is watching. Now, with AIs making it easier to cheat or spread misinformation, it's more important than ever to foster a culture of honesty. So how do we teach students to use AIs responsibly? You can start this kind of discussion with your child with questions like, should AI be used for learning or just to get better grade? You can also encourage some critical thinking by showing some real example of AI generate misinformation, fake news, deepfakes videos, and ask them what to think, like what implication could this have? And you can also help your child build more ethical habits when using AI tools. So you can role playing, for example, and let them practice what to do when they see their friend using AI to complete the assignment. Developing interpersonal skills such as self-discipline and decision making. This is also extremely important skill now in this age of AI. Self-awareness and self-control are key to making ethical choice online. Sometimes kids might lean on AI to solve problems, which also missing the opportunity to build their own problem-solving skills. Spark a conversation with them, asking them, what if AI can answer every question? Should you still learn on your own? And incorporate some activity that can build personal responsibilities, like encourage them to setting personal learning goal without relying solely on AI, and maybe organize like a think before you click game that presents scenarios such as plagiarisms or spreading false information and discuss the consequence. You can also introduce the idea of delay gratifications. What this means is challenging them to earn reward after a period free from tech distractions, like planning a fun outdoor activity after a day without unnecessary screen time, for example. And also you need to build interpersonal skill, which is what communication and empathy. When it comes to communication, nothing can replace genuine human connections. AI might assist us in conversations, but real empathy and active listening are essentials. Consider asking your child, how do you feel when someone really listens to you? Can AI ever replace that warmth? Engage in activities that promote direct interactions, like encourage daily divide-free, face-to-face conversations. Practice active listening by having your child summarize what someone just said, or explore emotion intelligence. Maybe you can show them different kind of image of facial expression and having them guess what emotion the person is feeling. Protecting your child privacies in a world powered by AI isn't just about technologies. It's about being proactive and informed. Remember, guiding children in ethical AI use is essential, and encourage safe digital habit, educate them about data privacies, and ensure AI tools enhance learning without compromising safety. When preparing educators to navigate the digital privacies, there are several key challenges to address. First, consider student data securities. AI-powered tools capture detailed information on performance, behaviors, and personal details. This raises important questions about how data is stored and protected. And if you don't know, many edtech platforms share data with third parties for unethical reasons, advertising, and also training AI, which then can compromise privacy if it's not managed properly. And then there's also the issues of AI-driven surveillance, such as facial recognition, keystroke monitoring, and behavior tracking. This raise ethical concern regarding the student privacies. And it doesn't stop with students. Educator privacy is also at risk, as AI tools can track also teaching activities and interactions, potentially leading to constant monitoring. Understand this risk, there are a few strategies to address this. First, we can begin by reviewing the privacy policy of your edtech tools to understand how student and teacher data is managed. You'd also opt for AI tools that limit data collection to only what is necessary. Advocate for transparent AI use by demanding clear policy from vendors. And importantly, educate students and parents on responsible AI use and privacy protections. By balancing AI benefits with ethical responsibilities, we can help ensure that privacy and security remain at the forefront of digital learning. When it's come to protecting learner, start by encouraging students to check their app permissions regularly and avoid sharing sensitive information online. Remind them to use a strong password, enable multi-factor authentications, and opt for privacy-focused tools and browsers. But here's a few tips for educators. It's important to teach students how to identify scam, phishing attempt, and even AI-generated deepfakes. Engage them in discussion about how AI ethics and the impact of their digital footprints. Also, consider implementing school policy that actively safeguards student data. This strategy, when you work together, it can create a secure and responsible digital learning environment for everyone. Consider this case study. A deepfake videos impersonating the teacher spread false information, leading to confusion and distress among both students and parents. This incident underscores the significant risks deepfakes and AI-generated content present in educational settings. They can spread misinformation, damage reputation, and violate privacy. It is essential for schools to address this risk proactively through heightened awareness and effective verification methods. So building on that case study, there are practical strategies to address this challenge. Start by educating both students and staff on deepfakes, teach critical thinking skills so they can spot manipulate content, implement AI detection tools to help verify authenticity. It can be flagged and addressed immediately. Boost digital literacy by encouraging everyone to fact checks and cross-referencing information with credible source. Finally, strengthen cybersecurity measures to secure school data and protect sensitive teachers' image and videos. Remember, AI in education presents both opportunity and risk. Educators must take proactive steps to protect student data. Committing to fostering ethical AI use and digital responsibility in school.